on to Manchester today because Emily, she's got a photo shoot today with Eddie White, and then we'll go and train.
Slightly ambitious, but oh well, it moved.
I appear to have just become some sort of competitive fat eater. Right, hello, and welcome back to YouTube. Currently driving to Manchester, so I'm going to try not to die whilst crashing. Mother, if you're watching this, I'm driving very... What?
Don't you try not to die whilst crashing?
Try not to crash whilst driving, but to be fair, if I do crash, I'm also going to try not to die whilst crashing. On to Manchester today because Emily, who is 3.5 weeks out, I think, from her show. I should know that, I am coaching her. Pretty sure it's 3.5.
Yeah.
Close enough. She's got a photo shoot today with Eddie White, who I shot with pretty much every prep I've done, apart from the most recent one. I fucking love him, so we're going there this morning, and then we'll go and train. She's also got to collect her bikini after from Manchester. So yeah, we got that this morning. We're going to go and train. I don't know what gym yet, but there's an abundance of sick gyms in Manchester, so I will go and film my session there today because I've not filmed my training in quite a while. I appear to have just become some sort of competitive fat eater, which is what the off-season is all about, but I am still training. So, and I know that a lot of people are very keen to hear about my new split and the split that Kyle's got me on. So after all this, when I'm back at home later today, I'm going to sort of sit down, go through my split, give a brief overview. It is quite complex. It's obviously set up specifically for me. I'm also very conscious that it's Kyle's work, right, if that makes sense, and I don't want to just post the exact split he's put time and effort into writing online because it's not mine to show, promote, whatever you want to call it. So out of respect to him, I'm going to go for an overview. We'll still go pretty detailed because things have changed quite a lot since the initial plan, just in terms of quad volume and that sort of stuff, but I'll break that all down later, so that'll be towards the end of the video. This first half is going to be just a bit of a vlog for M shoot, and then for the training video as well. So 7:30 right now, on the way to Manchester. I've got to be there for 9, and I've got 2-3 hours of shooting, most of which I'll probably just be doing client check-ins anyway while she cracks all of that. So we'll catch up with you at the shoot, and then likely at the gym for chest, back and shoulders today. So see you in a bit. Right, we've made it to Eddie's studio. As I said, I shot here this will be my 4th time here now. Obviously today's primarily for Em, and she's doing her makeup because I'm obese. Might do a bit, but probably not too much. But it is a very cool studio. So you've got like the white backdrop over there just for the usual stuff. A motorbike that I'll straddle with my arse out. And then just like a full like gym setup with the most aesthetic lighting ever. And yeah, so I'll get a little bit of B-roll of Em doing some bits, and then if I do anything, I'll get a bit of B-roll of that as well. But it is sick here, highly recommend for anybody. It's Manchester based, but I get quite a lot of my clients who just travel here purely to do this, because I do believe that, I know he's in the room, but he's the best in the UK in my opinion for photos and that sort of stuff. So yeah, we're gonna get to it, and then go collect our bikini after, and then go and lift some weight at probably Flex and Tone, but I'm not sure where. And get after it. Right, we wrapped up the studio bit. Now we're at like a water studio. I'm in my posing trunks, so I'm going to do a little bit here, just because it's pretty cool, different content that I've not done before. Whether any of it will make the video, I'm not sure. But we'll see. But it's pretty fucking sick as well. Like, yeah, I've not done this is new, so we'll give it a go, see how it looks. Should be cool. We have done the shoot, as you've seen a fair bit of. The water shoot was pretty cool, but very cold, because that was cold water. Massive thank you to Eddie. Obviously, I've worked with Eddie for 4 years in a row now. Send a lot of my clients to him for photo shoots. Bully them into going as well. But he's like unbelievable at what he does. So yeah, he's Manchester based, but he's worth the travel from wherever you are in the UK. I'll put his stuff in the description if you want to check him out, but have a look through the Instagram, it's fantastic. Em's just collected a bikini for her show, because bikini stuff. And now we're going to go train. I'm just going to nail my pre-workout quickly. It really doesn't look very aesthetic, but it is really nice. It's obviously whey isolate. The whey paste I made a little bit too liquidy. You can see it looks disgusting, let's be honest. It's just rice pudding, fruit, and whey isolate. And then in here I've got my GDAs. These little pots, you get a pack of 3 and they're like stacked on top of each other to like carry whey protein and tablets and shit. But yeah, these have just gone on sale from ESN, so if you do want those, go pick them up. They are very useful for if you are a bodybuilder who likes to travel. But I'm going to eat this, and then I'm going to go to Flex and Toned, train some chest and back, and then go on to Trafford Centre for a bit of shopping after, get some steps in around the shopping centre, and then Em's got an off plan tonight, and then it's back to digging. So I'm just going to vlog the whole day basically. It's kind of a day in the life this, but I am also still going to break down my training later. So I'll film a little bit of my training. It's not going to be the most in-depth training session, but we'll get like 5-10 minutes of footage. But I'm going to eat this, head over there, and then catch you at the gym.
Right, in Flex and Tone now. It's very loud, but I fucking love this gym. It is a very old school, sort of hardcore gym. Loads of old Nautilus, Cybex, proper old school kit. Atmosphere is sick. I actually used to train here when I lived in Manchester. So the other person you may know that trains here is Naz, One Punch Naz, Nal Darwin, who will, in my opinion, be top 5 at the Classic Olympia this year. Yeah, not going to talk too much because it's crazy loud and you probably can't hear me anyway. It's going to be copyrighted. But we're on a bit of a time crunch today because obviously we spent so long shooting and picking up bikinis, and we've got other shit to do later today. So got about an hour to train. So I know this video is going to be me breaking down my split. This session is not part of the split. I'm going to have to adapt it slightly. I'm going to do a fly now, work in sets, get into some form of incline press. Depending on time, maybe then a flat press as well. Then I've got a little bit of delts and 2 back exercises, just a row and a pull down. So I'm going to move through it pretty quick today. This obviously isn't my normal gym. I'm going to try and use a little bit of different kit to what I normally use. So if you're interested in learning about my split, watch the end of this video. This session is just kind of a rogue. I need to fucking train, so I'm going to get it in what I can and enjoy the different kit available. So don't learn from this. Wait to see my split later if you actually want to see what my split's like. Right, we've got 6 plates on. This is slightly ambitious, but fuck it, why not? Might as well have some fun and ego lift here. Slightly ambitious, but oh well, it moved. All right, today's intro, we got I think just shy of 50 gram of carbs and 20 grams of elite aminos from ESN, which are currently 20% off, as are all vitamins and performance and those pill boxes I showed you earlier. Gonna do a rest pause on here, then get into some lat raises. Probably just a dumbbell lat raise, keep it nice and straightforward. That's the only direct delt work today is a lat raise. 10 typically it's meant to be right at the end of the session. I'm meant to do 3 chest exercises, then a row and a pull down, and then finish with a lat raise. Today I was going to do all the push stuff first and then finish up with back. But we're moving good. I ended up doing 3 sets on the incline press, felt mint. Did 3 sets of flies as well. So just for this makeshift session now, I'm going to do sort of less exercises, but just higher volume per exercise. On here I'm going to do a rest pause, so there's an intensifier in there as well. And then we'll get into some delt work. Right, fuck it, we'll turn it into a drop set because that's too heavy for a rest pause. My chest is cooked already. Fuck me. Right, I'm pretty fucking cooked, I can't lie. I don't think I've done a very good job at filming this, I'll be totally honest with you. But it's been about an hour and 10 minutes. I've slightly exceeded my allotted time. Em's waiting for me to leave now. But just enjoyed the kit. Ended up doing about 3 sets of exercise. Slightly higher rep, apart from the fucking 4 rep max on the incline press. It felt good. Upper is rather pumped. Need to get a shift on now. Got some last few bits to do. And then we're gonna go, Em's got an off plan tonight. Probably fucking Nando's or something relatively clean. Which is more or less it's on plan for me, really. So we'll see, but it's been a very good day, productive day so far. I still have some editing to do and half my client check-ins. I did half this morning before we left at like 6 a.m. But then a lot of the client check-ins came in between like 7 and 9 whilst we were driving to Manchester. So I've got those to do when we get back to Manchester this evening. So quite a long day still, but we're gonna wrap up in the gym. Head over, do the bits we need to do at the Trafford Centre, and then get on the road home so that I can finish up doing work this evening and also break down this split fuel. So that's obviously the main reason you're all here, so I'll stop rambling on now. I will get some more actual training videos done just on my training specifically, because I know a lot of you that have been watching for a while do enjoy that sort of content. But I am also trying to produce slightly better content, slightly different content, as you've seen from the past 2 weeks of videos. So we'll do a mix. I want to make sure there's a mix in there because I know a lot of people do just like watching the raw, authentic training videos. And I want to make sure I'm doing enough of those on the new split as well to keep you all updated with how the off-season's going. But I'm also very aware that that can get pretty stale when it's like every week it's just the same upper session or every week it's the same leg session. That's the thing I want to avoid. So making sure there's like 1 or 2 training videos a month, and then maybe 1 or 2 sort of different sort of content, you know, cheat meal, full days of eating, day in the life. I do have some pretty cool videos planned as well. So there's lots to come, but ideally the next clip may just be back at home with my fucking nerd glasses on, ready to break down my training split. So we'll wrap up here and I'll catch you in a bit. Right, I was about to leave, but Em's decided she's not had enough airtime in this video, so now she wants to pose. I'm so bad at working a camera. Pretty sure the lighting's fucking horrific. The lighting's bad because I can't work a camera, but just strut your stuff, queen. Someone's gonna clip that. Oh yeah, shredded. Unreal. Yeah, that's what we like, most muscular. Right, back home for the split.
All checking's done, all work done for the day. Literally just need to wrap up this video, send it off to get edited, and then we're done. A very productive day in Manchester. Not sure how much of it translated to camera. And now we're here, and I'm going to quickly, well not quickly, but as quickly as I can, and as simply as I can, sort of go through my split now. So we'll get straight into it. For me, obviously, the feedback last season was more muscle everywhere, okay? I'm relatively well balanced. There are certainly areas that need to come up more than others. And for me, that's sort of quad sweep and quad size. Now, a lot of that was just downsized due to the injury, but can always have more quad sweep. So more quad sweep, more back, and specifically more lower lat is an area I really need to bring up as well. And then just general top line density. You know, I need a thicker chest and just more density everywhere, really, bigger arms, that sort of stuff. So my actual split is like a 12-page PDF. I've got it here on my iPad. I'm not going to show this on screen, as I said earlier, because this is Kyle's work, okay? And out of respect to Kyle, this is his to share and his to talk about. Yes, it's a split written for me, but it's his body of work, not mine. So I don't really want to put that out there in case he doesn't want it out there, but I will talk through it as deeply as I can. Obviously, when I've broke down my previous splits on videos prior, those are splits I've done myself, and I'm not asked about putting it out there because it's my work and you can all see it. Again, disclaimer, right? If you go and follow this split exactly, no, it is not the best split for you. This split is for me. It is designed for me and my body. And it's also got a lot of personal preference in there, okay? So there is no correct split. Please do not listen to this video and think, oh, this is the be-all and end-all. Anyone who says any split is the categorically best split, they are just trying. They've probably got an agenda. They've probably got something to sell, right? Everyone at the minute is like, upper lower is the best split possible. And it's like, yeah, for somebody it may do. For other people, fucking probably isn't, okay? So yeah, there's no correct split. You got to enjoy your training first of all. You got to train properly and that sort of stuff. So I've written it down in a simpler format on my notes page, which I will put on screen here. Here you can see what days I train, this sort of session, and then you can sort of see the exercise order. What I've not gone into is the rep ranges and then the intensifiers, but I do want to talk through the intensifiers because they are probably the biggest thing that's changed for me. So with this overall split, I'm just going to talk generally. A lot of you know how I previously trained. It was a top set, back offset style of training. Now it is what Kyle calls it, is your top set is a max effort set, and then your back off set is more of a squeeze set, okay? For his brief definition, max effort, the absolute furthest of your abilities, basically headphones on, take your head to the fucking dark place and fight some demons in that set, okay? That's when we're going to get strong, that's when we're going to train as hard as we fucking can. The squeeze set then is following a max effort. He wants me to focus more on the target and milking the movement rather than just max performance. So it's this thing I've said quite a lot, like at the end of the day, I'm a bodybuilder, right? I want to make lightweight feel heavy. When you're a powerlifter, you want to make heavyweight feel light. So you want to move it quickly, you want to be explosive. Whereas here, I'm really trying to feel the muscle, contract the muscle, and get the absolute most out of that movement. And by doing that, chances are a lightweight is going to feel pretty heavy. Example of that, lat raises. I can fuck my delts up with a 12 kilogram lat raise, okay? I've been doing that since I was 17. My delts are still growing from it. So that's a sort of example there. There are a lot of other different rest pauses in there, which I will just detail. But so to start with, so I'm on a 7-day split, We've got 5 training days, 2 rest days. My first rest day is a Monday, right? So I'm just going to talk Monday onwards. Reason for me personally, my rest days are Mondays and Thursdays, is just because that's what works best for me in terms of work. So I've got quite a lot of check-ins on a Monday, quite a lot of check-ins on a Thursday. So I'd rather have those 2 as my rest days. And then it means the other days I'm training. It just fits my schedule basically. But you can put those rest days wherever. I could put them wherever, but I just choose Monday, Thursday at the minute. I have done for the past 5 years, always done a Wednesday and a Sunday, but I fancy to change. Then straight in, first session of the week after a rest day is legs. So at the minute, obviously I need to bring my quads back. I need to get my quads better. That's priority 1. I'm going to hit that when I'm fresh. With legs at the minute, you've probably seen this on my Instagram quite a lot. It's a lot of squat patterns. So we have hamstring curl to start with. On this one, it is a 2-second hold in the contraction. That is one of the intensifiers I do know. So straight away, both of those sets, every single rep is a 2-second hold in the contraction. And that just fucking lights up my hamstrings. There are also warm-ups with this. So here for legs, it's, you know, sort of lunges, dynamic stretches, and leg extensions, just not to failure. But that's just going to ensure my knees are warm, ensure hip flexors are open. I also do a 15-minute mobility routine for my hips, because obviously I've had quite a few hip issues recently. So that's what I do prior, and then it's straight into that hamstring curl. I do a lying hamstring curl on the Body Masters for anyone that's intrigued, with a 2-second holding contraction. And then I go to my primary squat pattern 1, which is, on this one, it's literally no intensifiers. It's just a max effort and then a squeeze set. So we've got 8 to 10, then 12 to 15. On some movements, I will break down rep ranges. And at the minute, I'm running a Predator pendulum squat, okay? I fucking love a pendulum squat. One of my favourite movements of all time. So I'm getting really strong at that again. I want to get that probably up to 7 plates for a top set, ideally. Straight after that, I'm going into a Cybex 45-degree leg press, again, just for 2 sets. And then after that, I'm going into an Arsenal hack squat at the minute. It's sort of a finisher here. And again, it's just 2 squeeze sets there. It's nothing crazy heavy. I'm not trying to chase load at that point. I think by that point, after the 4 sets of the squat pattern already, I'm pretty cooked. I end up doing about 3 or 4 plates aside, which is pretty pathetic in terms of what I've done previously on that hack squat. Following that, I go into an adductor, then a hamstring curl again, and then a glute drive for my glutes. No real intensifiers on any of those, it's just straight sets. And then on to Wednesday. This is where it gets a little bit complicated and a little bit hard to explain. So what Kyle's got here is a lot of frequency for my upper body muscles, which is great. It's very different to what I've done before. And ultimately, that's what I needed. My old training styles, they weren't not working. I just ran them for so long. I was just kind of bored of it and I needed a change. And eventually I probably will revert back to that. And, you know, I very much enjoyed my old splits, but I just needed a change, and this is it. So we've got basically what I'd say is 3 upper days. Upper day 1 is chest primary, back secondary with a delt touch up. So what that looks like is I'm going to start with my chest movements. So obviously I do a full warm up first, rotator cuffs, chest, some thighs, stuff like that, just get blood everywhere, so I'm nice and warm. And then it's straight in with a flat press. I think at the minute I'm running a Nautilus, just flat press. The flat version of what I did today on the incline. Just that gym shop flat version. I've been enjoying that. And then an incline press is I think it's incline Smith, a low incline Smith press. And then I go into a fly on the Cybex Bravo. Then I go into a lat raise straight after that. The reason I personally go straight into a lat raise from there is purely because I'm just trying to find this session on this sheet, see if there's any intensifiers. Chest secondary. No, I should probably get my logbook for this. Kyle actually programmed the lat raises to be after the back exercises, but for me mentally, I find it easy just to do all the chest and shoulders and then get stuck into the back work. So that's the reason I do it like that. Pretty sure there are some fruity intensifiers because the only direct delt work on that day is just a few sets of lat raises. Yeah, so on this one, this is one of the new intensifiers he has me doing that Carl is very keen on. So it's always a controlled eccentric. All of my training is always really controlled. But let's say it's a set of 12 reps. What he will do is every 4th rep, he will do it for a count of 3 at the top. So let's say it's a bicep curl to make it easy. It will be 1, 2, 3 normal tempo reps, and then on the 4th, you're going to squeeze and hold in the contraction for 3 seconds, and then it's going to be 5, 6, 7, 8, squeeze and hold. So every 4th rep, you're squeezing and holding. Now, on arms, it feels nice. The one I find the fucking most painful but good is on like back movements and like lat movements specifically. You know, on the third set as an intensifier, do that. You end up using a really light weight, but the contraction you get on the lat is fantastic. So I really do enjoy that. I've got that there on the lat raises. And then I just go into a horizontal row and then a pull down. Usually it's probably like a gym Leco T-bar, then a just standard lat pull down. Sorry, no, that's not the fucking gym Leco T-bar. Ignore me. That is a horizontal lats bias row. Let me add that in there so that on screen it does say it right. So I'll do a single arm, like today. This was similar to what the session I was running today. Horizontal lat bias row, then a pull down, and then I've added in a shrug on top because I need more traps. Then Thursday I am resting because on the Friday, this is the other big, most important session. So what you'll notice is the way I've structured this, because I've moved this around from when you first sent it to me, is that my two most important sessions of the week are fresh after a rest day, where I'm the most fresh, I'm good to go. Because the other thing Kyle has me doing that's different to before is my one cheat meal a week, he has me doing, or he prefers me to do it, on a rest day as my final meal. So I'm always eating up my rest day to fuel the next training day. So I'll typically do that the night before this Friday session, which is back primary, chest secondary, and then a delts touch up. So for this, it's quite a lot of back work because again, I need a lot more back. So we've got a single arm lat pull down. I do a full warm up first. Single arm lat pull down. Then we've got a bent over row. Just get fucking strong as fuck on that bent over row. That is my hinge pattern there. Then it is a upper back prime row. So I set the seat quite low and I really drive into that upper back traps ROMs area, which I very much enjoy. And there is intensifier on there. I'm just trying to find it. Yeah, on the last set, I want you to do a rest pause, but only resting one time for 15 seconds. Immediately upon hitting failure, you will then reduce the load by 50% and perform another set. Aim for 12 plus reps. On this one, every fourth rep, let's squeeze for a count of 3. So that's a lot of intensifiers. So I'm going to do the set to failure, then I'm going to rest pause it. So I'm going to rack it, wait 15 seconds, and then go again on the same weight for as many as I can. Then I'm going to rack it again, take half the load off, go at it again. But when I go at it again, I'm going to do a pause on every single fourth rep, right? It's a fucking lot. Give it that a go just on any sort of row. It feels fucking mint, but it's brutal. Then it's into a horizontal lat row. So I'll typically do this on a cable. Here we've got 2 squeeze sets. And on that, again, we've got 3 squeeze sets. So on the first 2 sets, every fourth rep is going to be the squeeze and hold for 4 seconds on the fourth rep. And then on the final set, it's a normal tempo, but I'm going to go to failure, wait 15 seconds, go to failure again, then half the load, and then go to failure again, and then that's it, just a normal tempo. But by that point, after those first 2 sets with doing the squeeze and hold and the contraction, it's fucked. Then I go into a assisted pull-up for 3 sets to failure. I am horrendous at pull-ups, okay? So by that point, they're very assisted, to say the least. More assisted than I am in bodybuilding right now. And then we go into 2 chest movements, literally just 3 squeeze sets of a chest press, and then 3 squeeze sets of a chest fly. Typically there I'm using a pin-loaded prime incline press. And then it's 3 sets of a rear delt exercise with a drop set at the end. So that's a very big, very long, very good session. Then we go into the Saturday session now. So this is a leg touch-up. So this session is the one that's changed the most as I've sort of recovered my hip. Originally, it was just hamstrings, sort of posterior chain and arms. So it was a hamstring curl, an RDL, and then arms. Now it's a hamstring curl with a fruity intensifier, one of my favorite other intensifiers here. This one he does, it is a extended rest pause is what I call it. Now I'm just going to read this. You're going to pick a weight that you can do for 8 reps. So you're going to fail at 8 reps, okay? So I'm going to do the set, I'm going to fail at 8 reps, and I'm going to wait for 15 seconds, and I'm going to go to failure again at that same weight. That time, I may only get 4 reps, okay? So that takes me to 12 total reps. Then I'm going to rest for 15 seconds again, and then with that same weight, I'm going to go to failure again. By this point, I may only get 2 reps. Then I'm going to wait 15 seconds again. And basically, you just keep rating 15 seconds, then doing as many reps as possible until you get double that initial number. So in this example, I used 8 for the initial set to failure. So I'm going till I get to 16 reps. So that may look like a rest pause, then 4 reps, rest pause, then another 2 reps, rest pause, then 1 rep, rest pause, then 1 rep, and then that would be it. sounds complicated, but when you actually look at it on paper, it makes a lot of sense. And it's fucking brutal. That on a hamstring curl and that on a leg extension feels unbelievable. So I would suggest giving that a go next leg day. But yeah, this session, it's that hamstring curl with an intensifier. Then it's 2 sets of an RDL. For me personally, so far, I have absolutely no issue bent over rowing Friday and then RDLing Saturday. My posterior chain can handle it. I've had no issues with sciatica. I think it's because with that RDL, I'm doing it heels elevated, which takes a little bit of pressure sort of offloading through that lower back. It depends on your biomechanics, so please, but Kyle's had me do it for a few weeks now and it feels great. I like it. For some people, that'll feel really fucking weird and it will not benefit you, okay? For 95% of people, I would say just an RDL with flat feet is going to create more of a stretch on the hamstring and ultimately be better for you. But for me and my biomechanics, doing it with that heel elevated gives me a really nice benefit and feels great. So I think that's the reason why I'm able to get away with that. As I get crazy strong, we may need to revisit that. I don't know. Again, this is relatively early days in this split and things do change as the off-season progresses. After that, I go into a leg extension where I do that mental intensifier again with the extended rest pause set. And then I go into 2 sets of a hip press on the Gym Leco hip press for very quad dominant. Again, I'm not trying to chase load at this stage. That's more volume work on the hip press for now. As the off-season continues and food goes up, that may become some max effort sets, but for right now it's not. And then I've got 20 sets of arms with fuckloads of intensifiers. So 20 sets of arms, it's obviously pretty much split, 10 bicep, 10 tricep. Every other week, I alternate which I start with. So 1 week I'll start with all bicep exercises, then go into all tricep exercises. Then the following week I'll flip it and do all tricep first, then all bicep first, just so they get an equal work from a freshness standpoint, should we say. But with that session, no matter the week, I always start with the leg work first because that is the most taxing, and then I'll just cook my arms at the end for about 40 minutes. In that arm session, obviously it's arms, okay? I'm not doing any really max effort sets. A lot of it is just crazy intensifiers, and like the very first bicep exercise is just like a dumbbell curl where I'll do 3 sets of 12 plus 6 partials on every single rep. So I'm using a weight where I'm failing at 12 and then I'm doing 6 partials, waiting 45 seconds, doing another 12 reps with then 6 partials, wait 45 seconds and go again. And that's it. I'm probably going to film that arm day at some point because I'm not going to sit here and just go through my entire arm workout because there's obviously a lot of exercises, a lot of sets and a lot of intensifiers. But it's arms, right? It's just blast them, get as much blood flow there as possible. Use heavy weight, don't get me wrong, and use good form, fully stretch the bicep, fully stretch the tricep. Another thing that's in there's a mechanical drop set on the tricep extension, for example, where we start the first set further away and then we step in as we start to fatigue, and then that obviously is a mechanical drop set. But I'd like to kind of break down that session probably on a YouTube video at some point and go through that in a little bit more detail. So stay tuned for that one. Then the final session of the week is the Sunday. This is where we then have our primary delt day, a back secondary, and then a chest touch-up. Again, the chest touch-up here is fuck all. It's just a set of dips right at the end of the session. So we've got a Smith shoulder press. Obviously, I do all my delt work first. Smith shoulder press into a cuff Y raise. And then this is the new thing that I've not really done before. It's a dumbbell lat raise, superset into a front raise or a second press. He's given me the option. The first few weeks, I did run a lat raise into the Nautilus Nitro pin loaded press. Then for some reason that's been taken away at Ultraflex now, so I didn't have that press. So instead now what I'm doing is a dumbbell lateral raise, superset straight into a cable front raise with a slight bend at the hips, and actually I've been really enjoying that a lot more. Get a really nice burn through the front delt, so that's probably what I'm going to continue to do. Then I go into a rear delt fly. And then for my 2 back exercises, I'm just doing a lot of upper back on this day. I'm doing the Gym Leco T-bar, trying to get really strong there and actually push that load quite a bit. And I also obviously go into a shrug as well. And then finish with a dip. Couple of intensifiers, but it's kind of just sprinkled through all the intensifiers I kind of touched on. Those are the main ones, the squeeze and hold every 4th rep. The extended rest pause sets, and then just the usual sort of rest pause and then drop set, reduce load by 50% and carry on going till failure. So that's the general layout. Those are the sessions, those are the exercise orders. The only thing I'm not obviously touched on, I've actually gone in quite a bit of detail, more than I thought I would, is the sets and the types of intensifiers. But ultimately just keep watching the YouTube, right? You're going to see these sessions get executed a lot over the next sort of 6 to 9 months leading into next year's prep, which on that front, I do have shows in mind. I do know what I'm aiming for. So yeah, that is that. I've just sat here and done a podcast for pretty much 20 minutes. So hopefully you all enjoy that. That's as in detail as I can really go, while still respecting Kyle and his work that he's put in there to create that split. But I have very much been enjoying it. I will update you all as it progresses and as the off-season goes, and as I film more training sessions, you'll see more and more of it. But it's now quite late. I need to get this footage uploading and sending off to Nidish to edit. And I need to get to bed because I have legs tomorrow and it's now quite late. So thank you all for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed that split and it wasn't too complicated, because it confuses me and I literally have the split written in front of me and it's just a fucking hard one to explain. Let me know which session you most want to see filmed first, and that's the one I'll do. If it's the legs and arms session, I'll film that. If it's just legs in general, just drop a comment below which session you want to see first, and that's what I'll make sure I do. But thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I will see you in next week's video.